everyone, it's AG and today I will be talking about Every Heart a Doorway. This was written by Shauna Maguire and it has become one of my favorite reads of the year so far. The story follows a girl called Nancy who, after supposedly being kidnapped, is struggling with adjusting to normal life again. Her parents thus send her to a boarding school for wayward children run by Eleanor West. At this boarding school, children seem to be experiencing the same thing as Nancy is. The thing is, Nancy never was kidnapped. Just like the other children, Nancy found a door. A door that presented itself to her because deep down inside, what laid behind that door was exactly what she needed. It was behind that door in the halls of the dead where she found a place that she belonged. And now that she has returned to the old world, just like the other children, she's trying to find her way back. Like I said before, I loved this book. It was so original and exciting. There were so many characters that were vastly different and had all these elaborate background stories, and it was just so interesting getting to know them. You see, in the universe of the Wayward Children, you have these doors that open to vastly different worlds. And they are a mixture of different directions. You have, for instance, low and high logic, or wickedness and virtue, and many other things. You have so many vastly different worlds. For instance, there are places that are inspired by Alice in Wonderland, or the Moors that draw more from Dracula and Frankenstein. Nancy's world, actually, I believe, is heavily influenced by Greek mythology with pomegranate juice and just the halls of the dead. It kind of felt like the underworld of Hades. I personally felt that this multitude of influences just made this story so incredibly rich, and it's crazy kind of for me to think that this had not even more than 200 pages. The main character, Nancy, though, was a bit uptight. I actually didn't really like her that much. She was very serene and serious. She was so obviously obsessed with getting back to the halls of the dead, and she was always so super dramatic. But actually, unknowingly, she grew on me. I mean, at the end, I even started crying, and I was like, what? But yeah, I do feel that Maguire did an excellent job at making it very easy to have sympathy for all these people. As obnoxious as some of them might seem, you kind of feel bad that they finally found a place that they belonged and had been kicked out of it, and now they're just so incredibly desperate to get back. For these children, the place that they grew up wasn't really home. Home is the place where they were fully understood and accepted, and where they became truly themselves. I know I'm getting really philosophic here, but I just love this story so much. I was also intrigued by the fact that some of these children went to truly horrific and unforgiving places, but they still wanted to go back. But then I realized, although these places might have been horrendous and terrible, that there must have been something that resonated with such an intrinsic part of these people that they just needed to go home. Going back had two distinct meanings at the school, depending on how it was said. It was the best thing in the world. It was also the worst thing that could happen to anybody. It was returning to a place that understood you so well that it had reached across realities to find you, claiming you as its own and only. It was being sent to a family that wanted to love you, wanted to keep you safe and sound, but didn't know you well enough to do anything but hurt you. The duality of the phrase was like the duality of the doors. They changed lives, and they destroyed them, all with the same simple invitation. Come through and see. This fantasy book, by the way, quickly turns into a murder mystery when children at the school start getting killed. Together with her new friends, Nancy tries to find the murderer, and that causes a lot of cool scenes. There's this one that was illustrated by Rovina Tsai. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I couldn't find it anywhere on the internet. Yeah, so I will read that for you, and I have left a link to their website in the description box. Together they walked across the property, the girl, the boy, and the dancing skeleton wrapped in rainbows. Neither of those who still possessed tissue and tongue spoke. For me, there were many things to like in this book, and I will definitely be reading this again in the future. Either way, that is everything I have to say on Every Heart a Doorway. I would love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.